Howdy y'all, Michael here. Today is Saturday, March 18th, 2023. It is early morning. I want to say it's probably just before 8 o'clock. Today is the Go Kit Challenge Day. This is an annual tradition in the Denton County area and surrounding communities for us to bring our Go Kits, quote unquote, and basically it's being able to set your entire radio station up from start to finish out remotely without any additional power requirements or needs, and be able to operate and talk around the world. So we're going to check this out together, and come hang out with me. Alright, we have arrived. We're at the Double Tree Ranch, if I get that correct, in Highland Village. And this is the pavilion where they're going to have the contest going. Contest, competition, whatever. And these vehicles right here are going to be vehicles that are entering in as vehicles for a vehicle being a Go Kit itself. I'm just noticing here that he's using the vehicle as part of the antenna system. We do have two tall antennas right here, but this is a wire antenna for HF use. They're still setting up here, but there is already quite a bit already out here, including somebody cooking. That's awesome. That looks like Dell's set up.
Breakfast burritos and tacos for free.
Oh, awesome.
Coffee as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, you recognize that setup. That looks like Dell's setup here. So this is my friend Scott. You've probably seen him in a few other videos. Scott's one of the organizers here. And Scott, what do we have going today?
We're doing Go Kit 2023. This is our 4th year, Michael. Can you believe it?
That's amazing.
We got guys from as far away as Huntsville here today. Brought Go Kits out. They're setting up in the field, up here in the pavilion, out in the parking lot. And I don't know how many we're going to have, but this is looking to be a good year. What we've got are guys that have built kits and kit-based radios. I hear my battery beeping. And they're getting all set up so that they can actually make some contacts, and then we're going to judge kits later this afternoon, as well as give away a radio and have some fun. I mean, I brought out the hooks and
oh yeah, let's talk about the hooks here.
Yeah.
So Scott has a little side business going, and it's called the Sky Hook. So tell us about these.
Okay, so we have a website called thehamstop.com, and we sell, this was the first one we did, is the single, and you can see how the single is configured into a double. It's meant to replace these units that break after a couple years. So of course when we made the double, somebody said too heavy, too bulky, so we made a second. And then of course we made a third for the guys that said, hey, that just doesn't look right when I stack 3. This is our latest item that we had come out. It's called the cleat, and of course what does it do? It is perfect for tying off.
Oh, how cool.
As well as we put some holes in it to be able to manage cable coming down the sides.
That's very cool. So there's the Sky Hook in action.
Yep.
You mount antennas to it and run cables to run your HF wires there.
Yep.
So very cool, very cool.
Look us up at thehamstop.com.
So we got a discount code for y'all, and it's going to be Getting Out 2023. So if you go on thehamstop.com, here's the website. It's the how about I just print it on the screen? It's going to be thehamstop.com, and enter the promo code Getting Out 2023. It's going to be all caps, Getting Out 2023 for a discount. And what kind of discount are we getting?
You will get those prices if you put in that discount.
So this is a show special, but if you want the show special and order it online, the promotion code. Man, I'm having it's one cup of coffee so far. 1 cup of coffee, and Scott's drinking his. Getting Out 2023, and that's going to be good for a little while. I think it's till the end of the year. So help my friend Scott out. He's got a good product here, and a lot of people are using it right now. More people setting up here, getting ready to. But they also are out in the field. Thus, the reason for a Go Box is you can go anywhere and operate and talk around the world. I believe that's Tank Radio over there. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, Frank is at Tank Radio on YouTube.
What the heck? Get some interference all of a sudden. Hi, Michael.
Howdy. So that's the Russian woodpecker. No, I don't know what that is.
I'm not going to transmit with that going on.
Got some very cool stuff here. You doing a time lapse? Oh, okay. I didn't realize he was filming. Looks like we're tuning the antenna here. I didn't even bring my kit.
When you see my box, like
My kit's very basic. It doesn't pack up and go. But I did operate this last weekend. Or last week sometime. I believe it was Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's Silver Bullet. Okay, so basic 10 stakes, and he's putting it in an angle here. And I have the same setup, except not the same whip. This is a humongous whip. I guess that's third party.
This is third party. It's a chameleon.
Okay, so it's chameleon. But this is the Silver Bullet, which is made by Wolf River Coils. And I actually was using that recently. And 24-inch legs that come out. They come in 12 and 24, but 24 you're going to get more stability. It doesn't pack as cleanly as the 12-inch ones, but it does the job. And he's sitting here tuning up right now. I should have brought my kit even though it's not powered. I was using it Sunday. I heard, what was it? The Slavic Republic. And then the bands died.
Oh. Actually, the conditions were pretty good yesterday. Last night I was using this thing. I was hitting Europe, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was hitting like Idaho and Wisconsin like nobody's business, but for a while there on 15 meters, Slavic Republic was in there. One of the things you'll see us doing a lot when we're tuning something is we'll adjust it and then we have to walk away because it resonates with us. So
yeah,
our bodies.
I had it last time on Winter Field Day. I had a guy who kept like, I was doing the reading and it was really funny because it just kept fluctuating like crazy. And then I realized it was whenever he was close to me and walking away. So yeah, it's very sensitive. So we all become part of that lobe. Right?
Now I have a question for you. I've done it both ways where I will attach one radio per leg, and then other times I've done all 3 radios in one leg. Do you know any difference in that, or have you even experimented with that?
No. As long as it's spread out nicely, that's the I found the most important thing is just to, you know, get it spread out really nice and really straight. And if you're confined in a yard, it's going to be whatever you get.
Mm-hmm.
You can still tune it even with the radials bent all weird, but some people mark it. I never bother. To me, it's different every time. Even the ground.
Oh no, yeah. There's no point in marking it.
It's different.
I know what I ran it on the last time.
Yeah.
And then I just go from there, and usually I'm like 4 to 1 if I'm in a different place, which is, we're talking about SWRs, how much power comes back versus how much you're pushing out. So, but it'll be 1.1 to 1 at a different location.
Yeah, it's totally different.
So it's very sensitive, and you have to set it up every time. So what are you using as an antenna tuner?
It's a little nano
or antenna analyzer. I'm sorry.
I'm getting it about 1.2 now, which is good.
Okay.
I don't know.
What about us walking away?
Yeah.
So how are we away from it?
It's actually pretty similar. 1.242, so a little different, but
Okay.
not too different.
And I have an old MFJ 259C, I believe it is, or B. It's either B or C, and it works nicely.
I use
But that's nice and portable.
Yeah, that's the only, you know, I have the old traditional one, but which is easier to use for me. This is a little trickier to use, but it's all about how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I carried everything, once again, I carried all this stuff in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to last year, this year I'm a lot lighter than last year. I made a lot of changes.
Oh, okay.
And I've also added digital to it this year, so I'm getting less weight and more capability.
So he had it more like an A-frame tent last time. He's got a different little setup this
I
time.
always just use a piece of shelter and I shape it to however the conditions are. There's about 5 or 6 different ways I can pitch it.
So is this the same? Okay, so this is the same shelter. I'm
No,
guessing. It's a new
different
one.
but
Okay,
very
it's same
similar.
color.
It's about the same size, except the last one was rectangular. This one's square. And
Okay.
with square, you can make all kinds of diamond shapes. I like square a little better. It's trial and
Yeah.
error.
And this one, it's got the reflective interior, so
Yeah,
it's
it
like
does.
it's like a heat reflector or heat shield.
Yeah, so I do have a heater too.
Oh, very cool.
Old-fashioned canned heat. So if you put
Well, actually, I brought my jet boil because I was gonna get some more coffee, but they have coffee here. But
I've actually done this for Winter Field Day in the past, and usually I'll close up the shelter a little more, but you'd be surprised that you just have this burning under there, and with the reflector of that, it keeps it pretty warm.
yeah,
More than you'd think, so yeah, that's the old hobo way, right?
right. But if you watched last year's video, he had a setup as well, and very similar pack, or at least I remember it, but making it lighter.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool.
More capable, you know. Every time you do it, you kind of learn, and then you start thinking about it. So it's just a fun thing. You're always messing with it, always trying to make it a little better. And once again, like last year, setting up in a flat field with no trees or anything is the hardest thing. So you have to bring the most stuff then. Normally I would, you know, part of my shelter would be using that tree, and the antenna would be a wire antenna up in the trees, and then, you know, that shaves off a ton of weight. I don't have to carry this around. And I have a couple of chameleon wire antennas that are featherweights. So it makes it even lighter, but this is the hardest condition if you're backpacking to really set up in. But I brought everything just to try it out and have fun.
So, dumb question.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different answer,
Yeah.
but it's not really a dumb question. But why do you do this?
Why do I do it? That's a great question, and I have the answer. So, a lot of people have heard about POTA, you know, Parks on the Air, or SOTA, Summits on the Air. And some people have even heard of Islands on the Air. But the one that very few people have heard of is U.S. Islands on the Air. So what U.S. Islands on the Air is to set up in freshwater islands on lakes, anywhere in the U.S. So like if you go even here on Lake Louisville, there's a couple of islands. And what you could do is go set up there, and to be what they call, I believe it's a pioneer, you have to get about 20 or 24 contacts. Then that goes on their map as an official location that other people can go the next time and start getting points, kind of like POTA. Now, the reason why I built this, like what got me in the mindset of this, which is a little different, is I wanted something that is all on your back that you can carry. Instead of, like a lot of people do POTA, they jump out of the car and there's a picnic table and an awning, and then they just operate. So they could bring, you know, heavy stuff. They don't have to bring all this other gear. But what I wanted was I could jump out of a car, walk a mile or two, and set up and have a shelter against wind, sun especially, and rain. And the idea was that you have this backpack that you can come in by boat and literally wade ashore with it. So that means you want to make everything waterproof, so if you actually fell in the water and your pack's underwater, you're still going to go. You're still good. So I'm almost there at this point. I have waterproof containers within it, and I'm going to get what I think they call them a sea bag, where it's, you know, it's like a sealed bag that goes inside of it like a liner, and you could literally submerge it. And that was the idea, was to get involved in U.S. Islands on the Air. And if I jumped off a boat and fell in the water, nothing's ruined and the day's not over. You just got to dry off.
Right.
And then you got your shelter. Maybe you build a fire.
So
yeah.
I'm an all-encompassing guy. So do you have like food and water provisions in here?
Today I only brought like a couple of little snacks in there, but normally I would bring water and I would bring more. And also because I wouldn't be bringing heavier gear, I wouldn't be bringing this antenna. I'd have a wire antenna. I would definitely go lighter and I would have more space, and in that case I would bring some food. And the idea is to operate for about 3 or 4 hours only. It's not to go overnight or anything like that. It's a short go in, kind of like a little mini expedition, go in, set up and go. So that's the mindset I had when building this, and we've always been talking about it at the club to to do something like, in Louisville there's the Garza Dam, which is from I think the 20s, maybe the 30s, but it's abandoned now and they've cleared out breaches in it. So that's why you see this long kind of structure in the middle of Lake Louisville. It's actually a concrete dam that's underwater, and the peak of it is sticking out with dirt and trees growing on it. But the only way you can get to it is by boat. You can't just walk to it. So that was the idea, was to set up in a place like that and operate, or one of the islands on the lakes all around here. So that was the thought process. So that's just turned into, well, I have a setup where I can just walk a mile or two at the most. You wouldn't do SOTA with this, of course, it's too heavy.
Right.
But you could do a POTA and go somewhere interesting and not just be confined to the parking lot where there's somewhere to sit. So that's basically the thought process, and it's just fun.
So are you running QRP, which is low power, or are you running full 100?
Full 100 watts with this.
Okay. So very nice.
But if I'm doing like I'll do today, for the first time I'll be doing some digital, so that I won't run more than 10 watts or something. And that'll last quite a little while. But on sideband I'll go up to 100 if it's necessary, but I'll try to start off at 25, see what I can do.
Yeah, and that's a good point on digital. Digital you want to do a lot less. This antenna system, it will run what, 150 watts SSB, which is your voice.
I believe it's rated for 300 on sideband. It's the heavy duty model.
So this is not the silver bullet. Well, it's a platinum bullet.
It's the whatever their best one is.
Yeah, it's a platinum bullet. It's like $100 difference. So I have the silver bullet, so I have to limit it. So I think like CW I can do 50, and then digital I can't go above 25 or 30. But really, you don't need to go above 20 in digital, or even that.
If your antenna's set up right and the conditions are good, and now the conditions are good, you really don't. You don't need to.
Well, now I kind of wish I brought my gear out.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
It's on a tub. It's just all slapped in a tub. That's my gear, but I got to work on my power setup.
Yeah.
So, well, very cool, man. Very cool. And last time he was out, we were at a park in Louisville, and you were contacting Europe there.
I was hitting California and New Mexico, I believe, and some of the contacts it was like as if they were next door. They were, pegging the S.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised at that. I didn't expect that, but it was much better than I could have hoped for. That's for sure. So, especially at the time of day, right? The morning is up 20. There's some DX early in the morning, but it dries up quick as lunch comes around. And most of the day is just the U.S. But we'll see what we can get today.
Oh, very cool. Thank you. So Coleman's about to inspire me. He said, "Mike, you need to come here. I'm about to inspire you." So
you were the inspiration.
I was the inspiration. I inspired him. Okay.
Yes. You remember back when we had the general class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we had the test session on Sunday, and you and I were out in the parking lot setting the radios up.
Right.
I mean, we had trouble getting AC power. Okay. We was trying to figure out how to get it off the car battery. Then you got the AC to work, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Had to run an extension cable into the building.
Okay. In response to that, I was sitting there thinking, how could you get to the battery if you had to under emergency conditions? I came up with this. You take these, clip it to your battery.
Right.
Okay. Then you take one of these, doesn't matter which one, clip that onto there. Now you take your extension cord, plug into that.
Wow.
Okay. Take the other extension cord, plug into this.
Okay.
Okay.
Just don't plug it. Just don't plug it in the AC. Your battery won't like it.
Well, no. Exactly. Then you take this part, plug it into your radio,
That's kind of cool.
and you run it off your car battery.
So you got as much cable as you need with the extension cord.
Right.
Okay, that's thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Like I say, you were the inspiration for this.
Okay. we were having fun with power issues, so.
Yeah, so I thought you might get a kick out of that.
Yeah. I don't think you can make it to market with that one, though.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to solve a situation when it arises.
Yeah. You got to somehow dummy-proof that one, but that's a pretty cool setup. I like that.
And you know, people say, well, you get a voltage drop. Well, you do if you run a 100-foot extension cord. But a 50-footer worked just fine when I tried it with my station here.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. So, did you make any modifications to your station recently?
No, not really, except for the fan keep the flies out of your face.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. We do get flies around here.
But it's also...
Oh, it's got lights on it.
It's got my clock on it for my
oh, okay, there you go.
logging my time.
Can't really tell with the shutter rate, but it's a full-on clock.
And on hot summer days when gnats are flying in your face, it keeps them out.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I always like this one. And I still need to build my kit. I got an IC 7000, but I need to build a kit out of it. Right now, it's all in one big tote. You seen it? It was at it was at the general class still. So.
Well, there's a lot of satisfaction when you get it built.
Yeah.
As opposed to just in a box.
Well, it's one of my goals. Whenever I have time. Whenever I have time.
Needs to have goals.
So, I get suggestions sent to me every now and then, but. And you're running a ATAS antenna.
Yes.
So this antenna with this radio, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but with the Yaesu radio and the Yaesu ATAS antenna, this is what they call a screwdriver antenna. So it'll actually lengthen and shrink. It's got a little motor to make it longer and shorter.
Correct.
And does it actually do it while you're tuning?
Yes.
So you tune up and down and it goes resident.
Well, okay.
Or semi-resident.
What you have to do is you have to go to the band that you want to operate on, and then you either hit the tune button on the radio, or you can hold the mic key down and hit the up and down button on the radio to change it for that band. It doesn't track you automatically like a lot of automatic tuners do.
Right.
This one you have to pick out the band, then tell the antenna, okay, go there.
Right. So that's a pretty cool setup. And he's using one of Scott's, this is one of Scott's sky hooks. I do need to look in the viewfinder every now and then, see where I'm pointing. And on this end, he's got a little barrel connector, and you can hook the coax and then have the antenna right on top of it there. So it's got one on each side there.
Actually, that's for my 2-meter 440 antenna.
Okay.
I just haven't brought it out of the car yet.
Right. So I didn't even bring my radios. I'm in a new vehicle, so new to me at least. And Roger's got his thing going here.
I'm old right there.
There's his mobile. That's an old school mobile. Speaking of old school, I like his setup here. Y'all saw it last year, but it's still pretty cool setup.
I brought an HF rig this year too. So.
Oh, okay. So this is an old voting booth from back in the day. This is a portable table. It's a pretty cool setup.
Quick setup.
And is this yours here? The anchor? That's a beefy anchor. So this is for your HF. What are you setting up as far as HF?
An infed.
Okay. That's the thing about ham radio. There are tons of different antenna systems you can use and try. He's mentioning an infed. A lot of people call it ham antenna. You can get a decent radio, but the real work is the antenna system and how well it works. So he's still setting up his antenna system. May take a little while, but not too long. Huh?
Come back when it's finished.
Yeah. We will. This is Doug. my friend Doug, and he's got his setup going here. And tell us about your setup here.
The setup is geared towards minimal. What is minimum you need to get out? All right, so all I have is a Zygo G90. It's a 20-watt radio, HF radio, and I have it attached to a 9-to-1 unit over here and 53 feet of 22-gauge wire that is attached to a fishing pole mast up there.
Okay.
And I've been able, with this setup, and it all fits into this little bag right here. Everything you need to go HF on the road.
Including the pole?
Not the pole.
Oh, okay.
Then I have the bigger bag that's called a nice to have. Okay.
Right.
So this is must have, and this is nice to have. So the pole would go in there. You could carry the pole, I guess, but the pole doesn't fit into there. But I've been able to talk coast to coast just with this minimum setup.
Okay. So just to show the setup here, so he's got his coax going down here. I'm going to walk away from him for a bit. There's his connector, his balloon. This wire goes on and on and on. He said this is a 22 gauge wire. And goes all the way up to this fishing pole right here. It's got set up. Looks like he's got a little spike in the ground. That's a big old fly rod right here, this little sectional one that he put together. It's bending over. Looks like he's got a hook on. Pretty nice little setup there. The thing you'll see with ham radio is that people will try to engineer whatever they can, however they can, and not one size is going to fit everyone. So it's just a quick setup for what he enjoys doing. And what kind of battery are you using down there? Just a little.
That is a 6 amp hour Miotti.
Okay. So is that LiPo? Or?
It is a LiPo. Yep.
Okay. So lithium phosphate. And he's on the air already.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much for giving us the contact. Appreciate it very much. And QSL information is in QRZ and also QST March issue.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much. I'm also good on QRZ. Have a good day and have a good event. Kilo Golf 5 Alpha Hotel Juliet.
Okay, sir. Would you please give me what my signal report was?
Your signal report, 5959 into North Texas.
Thank you so much, and I don't even have my antenna pointed towards you. Thank you so much. 057 is the South Carolina off the side.
Roger the 57. Thanks very much and have a good day.
You too, 73. November 3, November Hotel. November 3,
Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I got off of the script today. Been a while since I did park to parks. Or not even a park to park. Anyways.
It passes for a park.
Yeah.
All right, contest is starting. Everybody's signing in, and they're getting their cups. There'll be tickets handed out to all the people here, and which ones you like, you put a little ticket in their cup. And whoever has the most tickets wins the contest. And there's different categories this year. Okay, this is pretty cool. The guitar case station. That's pretty cool. So took a little break, ate a little breakfast. This is our Georgetown. It's one of our emergency communications vehicles, and I haven't been on here. They're redoing it all. So I'm gonna check this out. Howdy, Eric.
How you doing, Michael?
Howdy, guys. And a little heater, a little rack of radios. I like that. It's nicely built. So, any work done back here? Or we're still work in progress?
Flooring and trim work are done.
Very, very nice. You all seen this in our Texas State Parks in the Air video. This is a work in progress, and they're making progress. Making great progress here. Y'all may remember this from last year, but he has his little smoker and his little grill there. And he is fully set up for radio. In case you don't know it, that's a roof bag. But he's fully set up. Nice little setup here. This is an old light trailer that he converted we saw for the first time last year, and he's improved it.
You've already made your contacts.
There's one. There's the date. 3/18.
All right.
I made them so that
You're done. It's FT8.
Well, I made them so I could walk away and look at the others and give away my tickets.
And here's Prep Ham Paul's station.
I didn't want to sit here all day.
He's got a YouTube channel called Prep Ham Paul.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome.
And man, nails on a chalkboard.
Yep, there we go.
FT8.
We can go
Switch over to FT4. It'd
We
be
can go
faster.
to CW.
Faster nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, faster nails on the chalkboard. I like it.
We can go to CW.
You're running off the ATAS, right? Or no, long mark?
ATAS right now.
ATAS? He said, get your tickets, vote.
How about that?
Albert,
Is that
you get
better?
your tickets?
There you go.
Is that more like ham radio?
That's the original digital.
A few more this year than last year.
Yeah.
We're just getting a little bigger each year.
Double than last year.
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. How you doing, bud?
Good stuff, man.
Oh, I had to put on a coat. Not putting on shorts, but I had to put on a coat.
Thanks, sir, for taking
How's that?
the car warmer happy campers.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
UI6 OY 179 Wyoming.
This one, and the pickup truck
Thank you.
over there, the white one,
K4VIG. I don't know it. I'm just watching.
Only three that we got.
Oh no, you were that was head copy. That was all head copy, right?
No, not me.
It'll be key.
They do have a CW Academy, so CW means continuous wave, but it's what we call, you probably know it as Morse code.
Dude, this is cool.
This one I've got 3 antennas set up. So we got this one on the mobile, and then if we switch over, I can switch to this one, which is a vertical for even. Well, I guess the same. It's vertical,
So there's the
Long
there's the
distance.
vertical,
global.
there's the mobile right there.
And if I switch to this one the other way, it does this wire right here,
That goes all the way across.
which gives me more local and regional emergency communications with certain conditions. So,
Hey, if you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to Prep Ham Paul.
for Pam Paul, I think you've told everyone on your channel about it.
Yeah, but you know what?
I think all the ones
We
that
hang out a few times, so you get a promo every time you're with
All the
me.
ones that want to come over.
And by the way, if you like this video, you got to do the actions for me. Give me a big thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
And there you go.
Leave a
Subscribe.
comment. Leave a comment and do what they do. Like, leave a comment. And if you click on that video right here,
Right there.
and it's never right.
So-
We're like right here.
But nothing shows us more love than subscribing. We'll have more videos like this. Ham radio, exploring small towns. You name it. If you just watch a few of my videos, and you can see the wide gamut of what I do. But
Why don't we get off of this and do some actual voice?
so you don't necessarily have to have these elaborate builds. It's quick and dirty effort sometimes.
Yeah.
Me myself, I have a tote, and I just throw everything in there. It's not mounted to anything. It just kind of sits out there. So, but you know what? This is a lot faster than what I got set up. So you got a little lead acid battery there, or is that?
Yeah, I got one of those Life Pro four
I had to
batteries in it,
Oh, that is LiPo. Okay.
20 amp hours.
And left it on for 12 hours.
Bought the box
Everything.
off
I was always
Gigapart,
getting
$99
I took a couple classes
with all the stuff
to
in
learn
it.
and so here's what everybody's doing. I'm like,
I
man.
changed this one out because it had temperature voltage. But the rest of them, it's
Okay.
So
I made several contacts. I still got 12.3 volts left in it, so and I got plenty of amperage.
oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yours is, this is really only one of the, there's very few that have them turned on. So I like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just didn't close enough, but they're set up, but they're turned on so you can hear them.
Yeah, they're all running. They all been making contacts on them. The one that's not running is our RV over there, the Georgetown, and it's going to be running in the next week or two. So they're gutting it and redoing a lot of it. So it's going to be fully deployable.
We'll tell you what would be fully nice when that sun come out.
Oh yeah, sun's starting to come out. You spoke and it happened. More stations coming out here. This one is a satellite station, and that is pretty amazing setup there. So they're just going to manually. Is it manual? Yeah. Okay. So it looks like he can manually track the satellites there. The automated ones are pretty expensive, but that looks like a narrow antenna. And you just point that thing where the satellite is, and it transmits on either VHF or UHF, and then it uses the opposite band to receive. And these little satellites are about the size of a softball. Some are bigger, some are smaller. And you can talk to somebody on the other side of the hemisphere there, so it's pretty darn cool. Looks like we got another YouTuber here.
That is too cool. This one's portable, that one's long. So is this, where's the 897 does VHF?
And this is the antenna setup for that one, vertical. Looks like he's got his counterpoise here. Here's another station. Little HF transceiver there. Actually, I think I have this very laptop. We use it for Aries. Looks like it's got some lights here to light up your scene. And there's pretty simplistic antenna there, going all the way up in the tree. I'll walk away, and Roger's got this whole mess of stuff going on here. I like that paddle. I just saw one in another radio there.
He gave it to the guy right there.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
He gave it to me.
So is that fairly easy to work?
Yeah, I mean you gotta kind of hold on to it, but it's super lightweight here. Take it.
Oh, holy cow!
A few grams, 5-10 grams. Gotta kind of hang on to it. You heard me working.
He said somebody sent him an email.
That's amazing.
From a contact saying for his laws 13 months ago, saying you were in the wrong portion of the band 13 months ago. But it must have been a spotting. Somebody they go through, they looked at the spotting pages. But he said he didn't have anything in the law. He said it was just somebody must have spotted him in the wrong portion.
I'll get somebody to come back to it.
Yeah. And this is Roger's setup here. He's got a nice little pole gun down here. It's got a little, some windings here. And that wire goes all the way down to that tree right there. This is a nice park, by the way. Very nice park. Just chatting with Shane here. Shane is with this side of radio.
This side of the radio.
Okay, so tell us about your channel.
So we do a little bit of ham radio stuff. We do a little bit of adventure stuff. I've got a hot air balloon mobile. And then we do Tuesday Night Live on Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And yet another YouTuber. This is K8RMD.
MRD, K8MRD radio stuff.
K8MRD radio stuff. I'll eventually get it. I'll eventually get it. Haven't met him yet, but I believe I have seen him on YouTube. So we got a. This is actually our fourth or fifth annual. So it's growing amazingly. Even more antennas. Just come around the corner and see more set up. That looked like a mast on an antenna. That's just a mast.
Are we all gathered? Hear ye, hear ye! Mowage. Okay, thank you very much for coming out. Holy cow, this is a big group. Wow. I was not expecting this, and I am very humbled by everyone joining us today. So the first thing I need to do is make sure I thank the clubs. So we had 3 clubs that helped to sponsor this event this year. The Denton County Amateur Radio Association, the Lake Area Amateur Radio Association, or Club, sorry, the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club, LARC, and then the Louisville Amateur Radio Association. Each of them helped pony up a couple of bucks so that we were able to get this awesome pavilion, the awesome awesome spread we had out there in the grass where we had plenty of room to set up radios and antennas and everything else. So that's really great. I think this location worked out really well. I hope, I don't know, what did you guys think? Good spot? I think this spot worked out really well for us because it has everything we need. We had a canopy in case we needed it, and we had a restroom. Everything else is gravy. So, you know, we're grateful to have it. I want to thank Dale. Dale was kind enough to bring us some refreshments, some warm refreshments on this cold morning. So we appreciate that. Scott Croft brought tacos. So anyway, but that's what's happening there. All right. Where's the drum roll and all of that stuff?
The Hamburg Cup.
The cup! Who thinks they got the Hamburg Cup? Woo! Wrong. Wrong. Roger! You got first place. So, for those of you...
I attribute it all to the voting booth, y'all voting. I can't believe it. Yours for a year. All right.
I'm going to put your name on the tag
Is
there.
there any significance to the cracks in the bottom?
I only spit at it once.
Oh.
It's permanent.
So guys, if you haven't heard of the Hamburg Cup, could I please? If you haven't heard of the Hamburg Cup, it is a very priceless, very beautiful, ornate trophy that you can take when you win first place in the Go Kit Challenge. And to keep the legends alive, we get dog tags every year as to who won and what year they took it home. So, you will be receiving a dog tag in the near future with your name and call sign to add to the list.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Croft drank twice out of it.
Yeah, and Scott, the other Scott, made sure he washed it, so we're good.
I had alcohol in it, so I know it's clean.
Be even better next year. I got some more ideas. It's not complete, but thanks everyone for voting.
Well, that was the 2023 Go Box Challenge. A lot of cool stuff out here. I didn't get to see every bit or go deep dive this time around, but they're going to have this again next year in March, hopefully in March. Great pavilion out here at this Doubletree Ranch Park here in Highland Village. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. But for now, y'all take care, be safe, bye.
Head northeast toward Highland Village Road.